fans. This is Larry Supermouth Huffman, AMA Hall of Fame announcer, and this isn't Supercross. It's Wednesday! And you're watching Bay Fishing with Roman and Brian. Stand by while the boys teach secrets of bay bass fishing with Roman on his 6-second nitro-burning pedal drive kayak, and Brian in his Cool Baits high-speed dragster boat that he takes out every Sunday. Be there!
What up, guys? Sorry about that. My mic wasn't connected. Welcome to another episode of Fishy Hour. Today, we're going to be talking about the best kayak fishing spots, the best kayak fishing launch spots that we have here in San Diego. We're going to talk about some spots in Mission Bay and some spots in San Diego Bay. But first, we're going to do the regular portion of the show. If you're watching the replay, you want to just skip to the spots where you can launch. Look at the chapters in this video. You'll have a link or a shortcut you can just click to and go right to that section, okay? But for the rest of us, let's get this show cracking. And shout out to the first comment of the evening. Oh, wow. TB Metal Art. What up, Todd? First comment of the show. Came in early. And we're going to give the first like of the show to Mr. Ralph Aguirre. Round of applause from the live studio audience. Also, shout out to Arnie, Leonard, Carl in the house, Stephen Gage in the house, Corey King, Andrew. What up, Andrew? Good to see you here. Andrew, wait. Live stream the first time. Wait, what? And I'm on time for the live stream for the first time in a long time. Yeah, good to see you in here, Andrew. Captain Dan in the house, Captain Double in the house. Bunch of captains in here today. What up? It's good to see you in here. Double says, okay, cool. I'll keep the show rolling. Where we at? It's like Andrew. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna throw a little background music, guys. Keep it so we can have some background noise. Whoa, that's a little creepy. There we go. It's just some vibes, you know, chilling. All right. So let's get into the first. What are we doing today? We do shout outs. Pop Top. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm out of Zevias. I haven't had time to go out to the store and get some Zevias, so today I'll be popping. Let's show you guys what I'm popping today. Today I'm pop-topping a Salty Crew Blonde Ale, a boat beer, if you will. So, you guys know how we do it. On a scale of 1 to 10, tell me the best pop-top you ever heard in your life, 1 being the worst. Rate this pop-top. Here we go. Frosty beverage. Engaged. Cheers. Beer tastes good. Beer tastes pretty good, like when it's super cold. Nice. Thanks, Ralph. Thanks, It. All right, Boat Brew, let's go. As far as announcements today, we're also gonna go. I'm gonna show you guys some pictures from our outing that we went on Saturday with the boys. We went to Catalina Island. It's pretty fun. Got battered on the way back by the conditions, but it was still a fun outing to get out and hang out with you guys. It was Carl, Salty, Dave Rage on our boat, and the judge was out with Stephen Gage. It was super fun. Let's see. So I'll have some pictures to share, and I'll give you guys some color commentary on those pictures a little bit later. As far as the rest of the announcements, let's see, announcements. Yeah. Okay. So I know we don't have the full house in here today, right? It's not a awards show. It's just a regular old show. What up, Fresh One in the house? Good to see you in here. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Fresh One. So now that Spotty Bowl is over, and because we had such a good time on this last event, we didn't have that many people show up, right? But I want to kind of have other opportunities like that, whether it's a fishing outing or a real in-person Mad Max Fishing Club meetings. I want to start doing that. So I am going to put this as a poll in our Discord server, but just so we have a little bit of so I get an idea, I'm gonna do a poll here during the chat. Okay. So first of all, are you in the Mad Max Discord server? If you aren't, you should join us. Maybe Leonard or somebody could put the link up for us. MMFC in-person meetings. Should we do official club meetings in person? I'm starting a poll. Okay, you guys get to vote. This is like I'm getting some research done here. What up, Captain Adobo in the house? I was sore for 3 days after that ride. Yeah, that was not fun. While I was getting like wet and like thrashed around, the only thing that made me feel like, man, I can't even complain about it because Eric and Steven are probably having a worse time than I am, you know? All right, so the polls, here's the polls. 8 votes so far. We have 8 people said yes. It's great. That's really good to see. We would probably do it in the San Diego area, of course. And it would be better for me to do it on a weekday, like after work, right? That way we can, it's not a full commitment. You don't have to take up a whole weekend. What I would like to do is in the format of, we have we meet up. We have if anybody wants to share any fishing stories or lessons learned from their last outing or from a recent outing. It could be like a scary story. It could be a new technique they learned. It would just be something that you want to share. And we'd pass the mic around, have people take turns sharing whatever they want to share. And then we would do a guest speaker, right? Like we can, like, once we have the club established and we have ongoing meetings, we can look up and invite guests to speak to us about different things. So it could be like, for example, maybe we can have Chad do a presentation for us on fishing. Maybe we can have Department of Fish and Wildlife come in and answer our questions about all the things that you have questions about when it comes to regulations and fish sizes and that kind of stuff. Or we can have maybe like I don't know, someone come in and teach us how to do some rigging for like rods or rigging for your kayak, something like that, right? Just like something that's like educational and fun. What up, Zach? Good to see you in here. Fresh one in the house. Round of applause from the last audience. Yes, okay. Yeah, it's something that I think would be valuable to the community. And then of course you can't replace. I mean, we do pretty good online, guys. We do pretty good with the community here, with the chat. And when we do stuff in person, it makes everything seem so much more cooler, you know? What up, Coach? Coach Worf in the house. Worf TV in the house. What up, Coach? So I definitely want to do in-person meeting. And even if 10 people, even if 14 people show up, 14, 15, right? That's perfect. That's enough to get us started. I'm going to do official in-person meetings, because after we do like the fishing, like kind of tips of the week or stuff you've learned. Captain Dan says, I do a talk about boat etiquette. Dude, that's a perfect talk, Captain Dan. And it'd be a welcome talk, especially for somebody that's like, for example, let's say somebody got started there on shore and they transitioned to a kayak and they're ready to kind of like start getting their feet wet on like a charter or like on private boats. And there's a lot of stuff that's like unsaid, right? Like what do they call like the unspoken rules, right? So a little unspoken rules presentation from Captain Dan would be amazing, right? I mean, I'd go to that, and then we could do something that. Oh, nice job, Coach. Got the barbecue going. Exactly. We could do something. I don't know if we do it. I want to do it in a place where it's like contained, and we can have like, yeah, beer, bite, and birria. Exactly. Beer, bait, and birria. Nice. But I think we need that. I think we need that for the community to kind of grow and continue to like have influence, right? And I also want to do what we call. I want to do the MMFC patches. And I think I showed them to you before. But the whole idea when I got the MMFC patches is that you nominate people. Arnie, I'm not sure if we'll do the Chinese restaurant, but we are looking for a place. So I'm in talks with Ballast Point in Mira Mesa. They have some really nice meeting rooms, but I'm not sure how much it would cost. If we could like work out a deal where, hey, you know, we're showing up, we're gonna spend X amount, like we're all gonna get food or whatever, or just appetizers. That'll make it worth it for them, because I mean it's people coming in and buying food, right? Even if you don't drink, you can still buy other stuff. But anyway, so I just wanted to gauge what the interest is for something like that, and it looks like it's good. So I'm gonna end that poll. Boom, done. We got 20 people in here. What up, everybody? Oh, 19 people in here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get this promoted to the rest of the people that are subscribed. Okay, so the next poll is going to be on what day works best for everybody. Okay, so, oops, what the, there it goes. Let's see here. Somebody wanted to know. Well, you're not invited. I was kidding. That's funny. There's always that guy. Okay, let's see. We got frequency. How often should we have? No, that's what day of the week. It would be one. How often? I'm thinking. Let's do frequency. How often should we have an in-person MMFC meeting? Boom. I'm gonna say monthly, because we can't do weekly. Weekly's too much. Monthly. Okay, here we go. Boom. Well, that makes it really freak out, huh? So there it is. How often should we have this in-person Mad Max Fishing Club meeting? Should we do once a month, once every quarter, every 6 months, bi-yearly, right? Or once a year? I think once a year is too far apart. I think for my taste, I think once a quarter is pretty good. It's not too overwhelming, right? I could do once a month. You know, it just depends on the interest, right? How often you want to do it. So cast your votes and let's make it happen. Yeah, quarterly sounds good. Quarterly, because it gives you time to get excited about it for the next one, instead of being like, oh man, there's another meeting today. There's another meeting this month. Quarterly, but I can also do monthly, right? And again, this wouldn't be like a whole day thing. It would just be like, you know what? After work, kind of like happy hour, but you don't have to drink. It'd be happy hour / appetizers, and we do the meeting. The meeting would be, hey guys, here's some new members, introduce new members or whatever, and then issue new patches if we're going to patch somebody that day. If somebody got nominated to get patched, and then the person that's patching the person that's new, the person that's getting patched, somebody says, okay, I'm gonna nominate this guy to get patched because I've been fishing with him. He's a cool dude. He embodies the ethics of our club, and I think he should have a patch. So then that person gets the patch, and then now it's a cool thing, right? To do it, to get like kind of like getting made in front of your group, in front of your friends, right? And then we do like the presentation. If we're doing a presentation that meeting, or we can do like bring gear that you want to sell, and we just kind of have a meet and swap and like sell stuff and auction off stuff to each other, right? It'll be fun. And of course, you can hang out and talk and just enjoy being around other people that enjoy fishing when you're not necessarily at the water or focused on fishing. You can just focus on the conversation, right? Monthly gives more chance to meet. If it's quarterly and you miss a meeting, oh, that's true. That's true, Andre. If it's quarterly and you miss a meeting, yeah. Patch, like you're gonna treat me like a flat tire? No, it's like a club patch that you can put on your jacket. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get one real quick. Chair, you're in. Like I bought a bunch of these, and like they're sweet. It's fabric. You can iron it on or put it onto a jacket. And it's like a patch. Like you're officially in the club. Like you are. You know, and like the first meeting, I'm gonna patch a bunch of people, right? All the OGs that have been in the club and have been supporting and have been doing stuff with us for like a long time, since the club was started, right? And then that group of people, the patched members, will have, what up, Cal? Cal, like for sure, Cal will get a patch. You know, Cal shows up, I patch him, right? And now Cal's got the ability to patch somebody else that he feels represents MMFC and the club and the spirit of our group, right? And if Cal decides to patch somebody else, that person comes to the meeting, right? Cal gets up there and he talks about why he thinks that person represents the group in a good way and why he deserves to be patched, and then he patches that person, right? And now that person will always have that memory of like, oh yeah, dude, I remember Cal patched me. Like I got patched by Cal. It's really super cool. It's kind of a nice thing to have, and it's like an acknowledgement of like not just your skill set as an angler, but like your participation in the community and like your goodwill towards the club, you know. So anyway, that's kind of where I was going with that. Can we depatch them? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Maybe I haven't come up with a procedure for depatching somebody, right? I don't know. That's a good question, actually. Now then, you put this patch on like a jacket, right? Like I think it's on the shoulder or like here on a jacket here or something, right? Like that, and then you show up to the next club meeting with your patch jacket, right? And now you have your patch jacket. You show up to the next club meeting, and it's like a little thing you have, you know. And then when we do other club events, you could show up. You could show up with your patched gear, right? Sport that's on my sport. Oh, got it. Oh yeah, sport that on my plate carrier. Jeez, let's go. No, Carl, not a motorcycle gang. Motorcycle gangs have like something else. It's like a thing across the back and like a city on the bottom, and it's not like that. Reminds me of baseball and football. And you do good, you get a new sticker for your helmet. Oh yeah, that's right. You have to get some you have to get some jackets for the merch store. Yeah, I've looked into it. That's kind of one of the limitations I've had. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. Exactly. The only places can go is plate carrier. Everybody shows up to the meeting with a plate carrier. Jeez. That's funny. All right, but anyway, that's the idea. That's the idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this poll and see what you guys have. So it looks like quarterly is more popular, right? But you know, like monthly seems doable. Yep. Don't ever pass a hobby class. That's funny. No, it's Okay, this is good. This is good feedback. So I'm also gonna run these polls on our Discord, so we get more feedback from most people in the group. But yeah, I was thinking quarterly originally, and maybe we start with quarterly, and we'll see how it goes from there. And if you guys enjoy it and we should do it more often, then we'll expand it to monthly. But quarterly looks like it might be winning. So quarterly, and we are doing these. Very cool. Very cool. All right. That's so funny. Oh, that's a good one too. Captain Double patch on the PFD. That's a good one. Oh, bi-monthly. Bi-monthly? Every 2 months? Judge, every 2 months, you think? Every 2 months also might be an option. Yeah. And again, it's not going to be like a full-on 3-hour thing. It's just going to be a small after work get together, right? And you can probably have some appetizers and get back home in time to go to bed before you go to work again, right? Todd, what up, Todd? Good to see you. And Todd says, what about doing a donation to a appropriate charity at each meeting, and maybe get CCA to have our group do sampling on MLPAs? Interesting. Oh, that's right. Like, that's right. Cause they allow fishing of the MLPAs for the sampling process, right? It kind of gets you in the door so you can fish those really fishy areas. Interesting. That's cool. Carl says, as an OC guy, it would be cool if they fell on the same day as other events like apps and taps. A Buff dude in the house. What up, Buff dude? Good to see you in here. As an OC guy, it would be cool if they fell on the same day as other events like apps and taps. So like on a Saturday, Carl? Yeah, that way you can come down, right? That's an interesting one. That's a tough one. Yeah, because it wouldn't be worth to drive after work for like a two-hour meeting, right? That makes sense. Like an abs and taps after party? Nice. Abs and tapped out. Well, next time we do something like with like an abs and taps thing, or like a weekend thing, Carl, we can organize something. That way it's not a full loss of your day. We'd end up our hard to most people. Yeah. Weekdays. Yeah, and weekends. Yeah, weekends. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the last poll for the MMFC real in-person meeting. Another quick little poll on what day. And I'm gonna throw in Saturday and Sunday too, because you guys mentioned it, so why not? Maybe I'm way off. Monday, Tuesday. I'm adding all the dates. That way you guys can just figure it out. Oh. It only gives me 4 options? That's whack. Okay. How can we do this? Let's do weekday or weekend. Okay, weekday or weekend. We'll do one more plot to this one. Weekday or weekend. Let's see. Like the year you guys got tacos after CCA event. Yeah, but that's different, Arnie. I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, let's just go do something after an event. I want it to be this is the event, right? This is the event. Like you're showing up at a place where we have it set up, and we can have like maybe a screen up to do a presentation if we need to have a presentation for whoever's speaking, and have a little, like, not even a podium, but like just be able to like speak to the room and have a little private space, and really be able to share and do the things that we just mentioned. So like patching people, giving presentations, sharing stories, lessons learned on the water, that kind of thing, right? Kind of makes it more fun. It's not just to go and eat and hang out. No, it's like an official club meeting. Hey Roman, are you doing Halloween costume kayaks fishing this year? Hey Curtis, good to see you in here. We are. Last year we did haunt the bait barge, but it didn't work out so well because of the Karens around there. So this year we might just do haunt America's Cup Harbor. So similar, we'll still launch in the same area, and then we'll just like patrol and fish around America's Cup at night, and have fun that way. Or if there's a concert at the Shell, we can dress up and go listen to the concert at the Shell, fish around the San Diego Symphony Shell. And then maybe Coach can meet us for barbecue. Weekend in North County, so it isn't so far from LA. OC. Yeah, I was thinking weekday, but weekend sounds like it's more appropriate. Let's see. That room was checked out at Ballast Point Restaurant. Looked pretty cool. Yeah, it was good, Captain Dan. I still haven't called that lady. I'm planning on calling her tomorrow. I wish I still had my kayak. My dad sold it to buy a nice little bass boat that we haven't even used. Well, the bass boat is it's a nice to have, you know. Dang. So you haven't fished since then. It's all right. Weekday. 73% says weekday. So still sitting on tarmac waiting to leave. Oh no, Captain Dan. One time we sat in the tarmac so long they had to refuel the engine. So they had to refuel the jet. So dang, that's crazy. At least you're getting some entertainment. Hopefully. All right, and the poll. Most people want to do weekdays. I think we should. I think don't think of this club meeting as like the only event. Yokenator in the house. What up, dude? Good to see you in here. It's been a long time. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Yoke. Yeah, so we gotta have these. Okay, weekdays, weekends. All right, we'll figure something out. And for the people that are from out of town, the people that are in LAOC, we'll figure something out. Okay, we'll figure something out. I'm just trying to get a gauge for if we actually would do it, if people would show up, and it sounds like people would show up. Sounds pretty good. Okay, so I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your patience, and answering the polls. So I'm gonna consider that yes. We should start to plan it and do it, and then we'll adjust accordingly. Right, we'll launch the missile, and we'll adjust the trajectory as needed as we get feedback from you guys, okay? To make it, again, something fun, a little bit different, and good for the community in general, okay? All right, so that's good. Let's get into, let's see. Got month frequency. I got the meeting day. Okay. I'll do an official poll on what weekday would work in our Discord server. So if you're new to the show and you haven't jumped into our Discord server, you probably already have Discord if you're doing Spotty Bowl. We have a separate Discord server just for the Mad Max Fishing Club. Cave Dog, that's a good idea too. The MMFC tuna trip. Isn't Muto doing a trip here soon? It's like a multi-day trip, no? If you have the details, put it in the chat. I'll relay those out loud. But anyways, there's a link, MMFC Discord server. Go ahead and join if you haven't already. And let's keep the show rolling. All right, so let's kind transition into the next segment of the show, which is what we're going to talk about here. We have the best kayak fishing launches in San Diego. Dun, dun, dun. That's what's coming up right now. And then after that, we're going to do SD fishing report, which will include our Catalina outing fishing report. Okay, so stay tuned for that. There we go. All right, I'm gonna change over to, I'm gonna kill the song, kill the music here. I'm gonna transition over to the screen share. There it is. All right, a little bit abrupt, but here we go. So, one of the best places for somebody that's new to San Diego and is trying to figure out where to launch their kayak. This is my go-to spot for fishing Mission Bay. This is Mission Bay. Great place to fish. A ton of spotties everywhere. And one of my primo launching sites is the Dana Landing boat launch. Okay. It's beautiful. It's right in the mix, right? There's a ton of parking. If you go, so the way I'm going to go over these areas is by talking about the parking, the restrooms, the amenities, all that good stuff. Okay. So this lane here and this side are for cars or trucks without trailers. Everywhere else, you have to have a trailer connected or you get a ticket for parking there. Okay. So if you go here, this is where you would park. And there's always parking. Usually always parking. Okay. If the parking is, if you can't find parking, you can usually park on the street here. But that'll be a super busy day. Usually you can find parking, especially at the hours we go to fish, early in the morning or towards the evening, if you're doing a night session, right? But this place is one of my favorite places to launch. Easy to get to. Once you're here, there's a restroom right here. There's probably like 8 or 9, 8, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably like about 8 bathroom stalls. Some of them will be locked. Some of them will be out of service, but you'll get at least one that works for the most part. Okay. You park your car or truck here, in this lane or that lane, and then you pull your kayak out, roll it to the boat ramp over here, right here. And you launch here and you right into Mission Bay, right into the heart of it. Right into the heart of Mission Bay. You come out here, you go right and fish in front of Ski Beach with all the power boaters and jet skiers. You go this way and fish around the Sail Bay. Or you go this way and fish the docks. Fish, what is this called? Mariners Point or Mariners Basin. Yeah, it's a great launch. What I really like about this launch is that if you kind of weren't really prepared and maybe you broke something, depending on the day, fast lane will be open. You go in there and pick up last minute stuff. Or sometimes it's rumored that there's been people that are actually show up to fish and they don't realize their drive is broken, and then they go to fast lane and it's like, hey, I was about to fish and I realized my drive is broken. They'll usually let you borrow one if you leave your drive there to get fixed, so you can finish that session. It's pretty cool. They're super accommodating, and it's a great shop. On top of that, you also have all the snacks you could ever dream of here at the Dana Landing fishing store. You can get rods and reels. You get baits of all assortments. I think Muto's submissions are in there. Chad's hookup baits are in there. You get war baits in there. You get cool baits in there. You can get a ton of different baits. A bunch of big hammer swim baits, all different shapes and sizes. You get leader, you get line, everything you need to fish. And on top of that, most of the staff there are fishermen themselves. So they know what's been biting. You can ask them for advice if you're new to, especially if you're coming to San Diego to fish for the first time. This is a great place to go. And the guys there at the store are pretty cool. They'll help you figure out what to fish that day depending on the weather or whatever. Okay. So very cool shop. Very cool launch site. This is the Dana Landing boat ramp. Okay. Put that on your list of places to launch your kayak. Okay. I like launching from boat ramps because I don't get a bunch of sand on my stuff. or my truck. But this is a good place to start. So anything I missed about the Mission Bay boat launch that you guys want to add, put it in the chat. This is perfect. I have not taken the Yak out in a while. I will have to go try some. Yeah, this is a good spot, dude. This is a really good spot, Andre. All right. So moving on to the next spot. This is also a spot in San Diego. In Mission Bay. And this is a weird looking. Looks like somebody's fist. This is called Mission Point Park. This is Mission Point in San Diego. We were just across the bay over here, launching out of Mission Bay here. Dana Landing. But if you don't want to if you don't want to launch from Dana Landing and do the whole trek to come out here to fish the channel, a good place to launch from is right here for Mission Point. So you can park anywhere along here, all the way up to the cul-de-sac and back. Usually you'll find a good spot around here. You can back up your truck against the grass, and then you have a bunch of grass to unload your kayak onto the wheels, and then you basically wheel it over here to the sand, and you launch it anywhere here on the beach. It's a sandy launch, but it's good. It's a calm area. There's no waves. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention about the Mission Bay one? I love the angle of the launch ramp, because this is pretty much perfectly lines up with the prevailing winds we have here in San Diego. Like in Mission Bay, after the wind picks up, it's usually flowing from in this direction, right? So when you go to land, I like to come in. I don't have the 360 drive. I just have a 180 drive. I like to come in and turn my kayak this way so it's parallel to shore, and the wind will push you parallel to shore. You pull your drive up, and by the time you get close enough to put your feet in the water, your kayak is still floating, and it's sideways, and you're able to step out onto the boat ramp and catch your kayak before it runs aground. So that's really nice. It's a good way to take care of your kayak and not mess up your hull. So I really like the way this angles. It's perfect for the wind that happens in Mission Bay. All right, here you can do a beach landing or a beach launch. We're back to the Mission Point beach, and this is a good launch because there's still a bathroom here, right there. It's got a restroom. It doesn't have any stores or amenities or anything like that, but you do have a restroom, and you have a beach launch and parking, and also the parking here is free. But I think they close the gate at this area at 10 p.m. and they don't open it again until 4 a.m. Okay, so on Mission Bay, the parking spot is open all night, and there's no fees, so it's free parking and open all night. Sorry to go back to that. Okay, but this launch is good if you want to go fish like out here for rockfish, out here in the open ocean, I guess you could say, right? You can park here, you bolt out of here, and you go out to like 50, 70 feet, and then you can rockfish. It's a good little area. Also, you can launch from there if you're gonna do like if you're gonna hoop net, you can hoop net out of there. You can launch there, and you're right where you want to put your hoop nets anyway, right? And you could go right across and fish the docks here if you want to. Or you can come out from here from Dana Landing and go around and fish the docks there, right? So anyway, it's a nice little landing spot. I usually only fish from here, but I'm gonna go out and fish around here, like out here in the ocean, right? But that's a good spot. All right, moving on to the next spot. This is a spot in Mission Bay as well. It's called Ski Beach, and this is a ski beach launch site. Let me just back out so you can see where it is relative to Dana Landing. So this is Dana Landing. When you go to Dana Landing, instead of going left here and getting into the parking space, you keep going. You go over the Ingram Bridge, and you after the bridge, you make your first right, and that puts you in this parking area. You drive all the way around over here to the boat ramp. Okay, and if you could take these spots here if they're available, or this one here, these spots are nice because you can just park there and launch your kayak right at the water. Now this launch site is a little bit more squirrely because you'll have the boats kind of no speed limit, no wake limit, and sometimes you'll get a wake here while you're trying to unload your kayak and get in and out of the water, right? So be careful on that one. But it's a good spot because there you're immediately in the fishing zone. Like this whole area is covered with eelgrass, right? So you can start drifting right away and just kind of work your way around and catch some spotties. This point is good. You can make your way over to SeaWorld, right? It's a good area. Okay. Like if you're gonna go fish the grassland out here, that's probably one of the best spots to launch from because it's right there. You're instantly fishing. As soon as you're in the water, you start your drift, and the wind will push you kind of this way, and then you reset your drift right here, and the wind will push you across, and you reset your up here, and you just keep doing that back and forth, and you could spend almost half a day there just doing that and getting bites. It's pretty cool. All right. I think there's restrooms around there, but I'm not sure if they're open all the time. I've had days where they're not open. There's a little dock right there. What else for this one? Yeah, the parking is open 24/7 and it's free. And yeah, that's a good one too. If you wanted to launch from the beach for a reason, you could also launch on this beach here. If you wanted to park over here and just kind of roll your kayak over the curb and launch in the sand right here, that's fine too. You can launch anywhere on the sand. While we're here, might as well cover this spot too. This is like the ski beach north, I guess, area. You can also make that same turn, but when you get into the parking lot, instead of going right, you go left, and you go up here, and you can park up here if you want to just kind of fish in here and Crown Point. Sorry guys, just a jet flying overhead. I'm gonna mute myself for a second. All right, that's good enough. So if you want to fish like North Cove or this little area here, this little channel is pretty good too, and like the bowling pin and the horseshoe, and you don't want to traverse this area. You want to just jump right there and get real close. Glenn goes fishing in the house. What up, dude? Good to see you in there. Sound of freedom. You can just launch here. Park in this parking lot. Again, this parking lot is 100% free. There's I think there should be a restroom around here somewhere. Maybe that's the restroom. I don't know where the restroom is here. Maybe there's no restrooms here. That might be a restroom right there. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's got to be a restroom. Anyway, you roll your kayak here off the curve here and just go in the sand and launch there. It's a pretty safe launch there. It's pretty calm because this little point kind of takes a brunt of the wakes from the people skiing and power boating in this area. Okay, so that's a good area as well. Okay, so that was places to launch your kayak in Mission Bay. Like I said, there's a ton, and the cool thing about this area is that you can launch from pretty much anywhere. If you wanted to launch immediately into Sail Bay, like fish this pocket up here, you could go right here where OEX kayaks used to be, and park in this parking lot, Mission Bay Sports Center. Okay, you can park in this parking lot, and then you can. This is pretty steep right here sometimes, but you park in the parking lot. You take your kayak on the grass and over to the shore here. And you can launch here. You can also take it over this way and launch on the sand on this side. I kid you not, one time I caught a calico way out here, which is weird. A calico of all things. But this area is nice. It's there used to be a ton of grass out here. And this is the area where when they dredged Mission Bay a couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, they moved some of the eelgrass to this area. So this area it's pretty good. It's worth a shot to fish this area if you haven't fished it already. This is also where the Toys for Tots event used to launch from before they moved it to Dana Landing. So it's a good little area, good area to fish. Yeah, that pretty much covers most of the launches for Mission Bay. Though, if you want to fish Back Bay, and you don't want to do the whole traversal of launching from Dana Landing and going all the way across, you can launch at De Anza boat launch right here. Again, it's another boat ramp launch, my favorite, And as long as you park here, it's free. Just make sure that if you're parking here, guys, don't park in the trailer parking because you will get a ticket, okay? Parking is free. And I think this parking lot stays open all night. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember there being a gate. But pretty much, as long as you can roll your kayak to the shore, you can launch from the sand, or you can launch from the boat ramp. So it's a good one. There's a restroom right there, but there's no like shops or amenities or that kind of stuff. So you have to bring your own snacks, bring your water, bring all the baits you need, right? If you don't have any of that stuff, like I said before, I recommend just launching at Dana Landing and hitting up the market. They have everything you need and some killer sandwiches too. All right, moving on to the next launch site. Those submerged pipes on the on the north might hold fish higher tides. Oh yeah, it's true. It's very true. All right. Did I do this one already? This one is what? Oh yeah, South Shores. South Shores is another one. So if you want to just say you want to fish this back channel here and this little inlet, you want to start back there. It's pretty. There's a lot of eelgrass and like growth that like it's pretty snaggy. A lot of stingrays and stuff back here, right? But along this edge, along SeaWorld right here, there's some good fishing, right? And along this beach too, there's some really good fishing. There's a bunch of rocks, a bunch of structure. It's really good. Over here, not so much. I haven't had a good experience over here. It's mostly like shallow and dead, and a bunch of like eelgrass and kelp and weird stuff. But it's a launch. It's a launch nonetheless, and it's easy. It's got restrooms. It's not as busy as Mission Bay as a Dana Landing, so there's a ton of parking usually. And just remember to park in the designated spots for cars without trailers over here, right? And wheel your kayak down to the boat ramp. This boat ramp is a little bit steep, so you gotta be careful. This one is pretty steep, especially on low tide. It gets slippery and steep, so just be careful. But yeah, that's the last one I have on the list for Mission Bay. Mission Bay is awesome. So many places to launch from, so many fun places to fish. It's a really cool area. All right, let's get into the next one. And now we're moving on to, where's this? Oh yeah, we're moving on to fishing in San Diego Bay. Okay, in no particular order. We're going to do my favorite launch site. Most of the events that I have and meetups that I do here in San Diego Bay are we meet at this site and we launch here. We used to have a tag here with Google, but they removed it. So sad. But this is the end of Farragut Road. And basically, if you've been to Liberty Station, you've been to Liberty Station Park. This is the Liberty Station Park right here. We go down this roundabout and we can park in this parking lot right here. Sometimes on the weekends, like they have like soccer teams out there with the kids, and it gets pretty busy. But we usually get there before they do, and we're able to find a parking spot. If you can't find a parking spot in the parking lot, you can park all around this whole cul-de-sac, right? This is a primo spot right here. That guy got the best spot. There's also a really good spot right here. So on opposite side of the red, those are the primo spots because that's your shortest traversal for getting to the water. This is I don't know, not that long. Maybe like what would you guys say this? How long this is? Like 100 feet? Where's my measuring stick? Where's the? Oh, this is 50 feet right here. Let's see. So 5, 10, 15, 20. It's about 25 feet, 100 yards. Nice. Thanks, Cal. So about 100 yards. You'll get winded a little bit if you're pulling it along the grass. So pull it along the path so it's less resistance on your wheels. And you're going to get to the fork to the T in the road. Okay. And you're going to see this caged area with like some stuff and some trees. You want to go to the left of that. So you're going to come down this path. You're going to go to the left of that right here. You go around the palm tree or between the palm tree and the fence, and you're going to get to this little path. Okay? And this is the only area that's got a space for you to get your kayak to the beach here without dropping it off a ledge, right? So it's right here. This bush tends to get overgrown, so you can usually tell when somebody launched from here because when they pass through here, they have a bunch of little leaves from this tree on their kayak, and you'll see it in their pictures. But careful with that. Put your rods on the other side because it'll rip the rods out of your rod holder sometimes. And careful with this little what's it called, erosion here. The pipe kind of eroded. The slow area kind of eroded, so the path is really thin. So you usually have to run over this this area. It's basically what is it called? Ice plant. You have to run over this ice plant with one of your wheels so you don't fall in the little eroded rut right there. And then you make your way down this little path, and you're on the beach. Sometimes the stand-up paddle group trim the bush, says Yoki. Nice. Got him. Sometimes here on the beach, the MMFC launch, sometimes here on the beach, there's some stand-up paddleboard rental company, and they'll have this whole area basically covered with stand-up paddleboards just sitting on the beach waiting for people to rent them. It kind of sucks, but just kind of be courteous. It's annoying, but be courteous, you know. They'll see you coming and tend to like make way for you, right? But sometimes during high tide, when you go to land, the beach is like, see these lines here? That's where the water line is sometimes when it's high tide. So sometimes the water line will be right here, right? And when it's right there and you have like 5 or 6 stand-up paddle boards, there's nowhere to land, right? So you just have to like kind of like get close and be like, hey, can I get a spot to land? Or like, and if they don't listen to you, just kind of rhyming speed, I guess, right? Public launch overtaken by businesses. Exactly. But yeah, it's all right. We can survive. All right. So that's it. That's the Farragut Road lunch. From there, you have 2 options. You can throw on the Ned rig and go for numbers and fish as many of the baby spotties you can find all over here, all the way up to MCRD. Fish these little docks. This whole area is fishable, right? And then what I like to do, what most of the guys like to do, is we like to go right, and we go under these bridges, fish the area in front of the launch, and then here, like you're in the money right there. You're in the whole mix. You have the option of fishing all of these docks here in Spanish Landing, right? When I first started fishing Spanish Landing, I used to park in a parking lot. Where is it? Right by the playground. Where is that? Oh, here. I think it's right here. Yeah. I used to park in this little parking lot right here, but they charge you by the hour. It's like a 4-hour max. So instead of parking here, just cross the bridge, come around, and park right here where I told you, and you'll be able to fish the same area without worrying about putting money in the meter or actually paying for parking at all. Okay. But look at all these fishing spots. You can work this whole thing. It's usually a little bit more shallow over here, and there's a drop off that kind of goes along the line of all the end of these docks, and there's a good drop off. Sometimes when it's like late in the evening or the sun's about to set, or it's early in the morning, in this area of all places, you'll get like a barracuda bite, and you can throw A-rigs, irons, anything on the surface and that's shiny, and they'll attack it. It's pretty fun if you're into catching barracuda. If you like the smell. You can fish all these docks here, all around here, and this is Tom's Lighthouse, Tom Hams, something like that, and also these docks. And once you get here, you can choose to go. You can go across the bay and fish this whole area. You can keep right and go into America's Cup and fish all these boat moorings here. All these docks. This is a super fun. You can spend a whole day in there, right? You can fish the Valley High, in front of the Valley High. There's a nice little drop off there. You can fish this whole area. Is nice. When you're fishing this area, you do have to be careful because you see here it gets more shallow, and this is like the shipping lane, right? So you get the big boats that go through here. When those big boats go through there, sometimes they put out a huge wave, a huge wake. that if you're in here or out here, you won't feel as much because it's deeper. But when you're over here, those waves hit the bottom and come up pretty hard, so you could get not necessarily rolled, but you get surprised because the wakes are big and they get pushed up by the ground, and you got yourself a nice little wave. If that were to happen to you and you see a wave coming, what you should do is point the bow of your kayak right into the wave. You want to basically T-bone it so that it doesn't have an opportunity to roll you in any direction. Okay, and you might catch some water over the bow, but that's better than rolling a kayak. I think those docks are off limits, but no, we fished them before. We're up there with Muto before. It's pretty open. All right. Yeah, that's a good launch site. Okay, that's probably the best way, the easiest way to get to. Second easiest way to get to America's Cup Harbor. Another launch site we use, and it's really nice and it's fun. It's got like amenities. Oh yeah, before we move on, there is a restroom at here at the launch site we just talked about, but it's a little bit out of the way. It's way up here, right? So that is a restroom right there. So use the restroom before you go. It's another what, 100 meters, 125 meters to go to the restroom. All right, moving on to the next one. I think the next one we have is before we do that one. Let's just keep going in this direction. We have Shelter Island boat ramp. Again, I love the boat ramp launches. This recently got redone. It's beautiful. It's got this really nice walls to shield you from the wakes of the boats out here. And it's a very busy boat ramp, but there's a ton of good parking. Most people that launch their boats here on the ramp are going to be parking in the parking with trailers. So it's you'll have a okay time of finding a parking spot, especially if you're going early in the morning. And there's spots right here. There's spots in front of the restroom here. There's a restroom right there. There are spots up here. Some of these spots up here are also for non-trailer cars, like this one, like these. And you can park all along the edge here, right? A ton of spots. If you get worst case scenario, you could park way up here and just make your way back to your kayak after you launch it. But it's a really good area, really good spots. And again, it's what I call a clean launch, where you don't have sand on your stuff when you get out, right? If for whatever reason you want to get crazy and you want to launch from the beach, you can park here, back up your car right up against the grass here, and roll your kayak down to the beach. Here you can launch from a beach launch on Grace Beach, but you're not protected from the wakes of the boats in the shipping channel, so it can get a little rough when you're trying to launch there. Like it's nowhere near as calm as launching from the boat ramp at Mission Bay or whatever, or even at the Farragut launch, because there's boat wakes hidden there, right? So you just gotta be aware of that and be careful. But that launch site gives you access to what we call like the ABC rocks across the way, right here. You can get in and go straight across and fish this whole area. And you could fish from there. You can make a left and fish to boat moorings here, make your way to the Belly High, and again get into America's Cup from a different direction. Or you could go right and fish along the way here. This is the fishing pier. Make sure you give them enough room to not be in their lines where they're casting. They have a fixed location. They can't move around like we can. So let's give them priority, since they're probably usually the newer anglers that are on there that don't have licenses yet. Let's just let them have that area to themselves. That way, we have enough fishing ground. We don't need to take over their area. And then it gives you access if you want it from there. Some people launch from there and they go all the way through here to the bait barge out here, right? You can. It's a good little trek. But mostly this launch, I like to use it to fish in this area over here. And then maybe America's Cup if we're going that way. Right. Probably like the best launch to use if you're going to... See, it's not that far apart, I guess. Oh, it is over here. The best launch to use if you're gonna try to get out here to Zuniga Jetty and fish out here. Pretty much everything else over here is like military. So the closest place to launch from that's a good launch site is Kellogg Beach, right here. It's a great little launch area. The only thing that sucks is the parking is super hard, super difficult, right? Like this looks like you can launch from here, but this is like steps, so you have to roll your kayak down steps. It's not that convenient, but it's better just park anywhere on this street. It's pretty steep, and preferably on San Antonio Avenue, right here, this street. If you do, and you show up super early, and it's really early in the morning, just try not to make too much noise. Don't be out there chatting it up and laughing it up with your buddies, because people are here trying to sleep. Okay, so let's be courteous. But it's a great spot. You park your car anywhere here. It's free parking, and there's no time limit on it. There's no restrooms here. There's no shops. You've got to show up with what you brought and be ready. You get on this little path, and when the tide is high, you see the water goes all the way up here. When the tide is high, I just go straight there. I just go straight across because the sand is hard packed, and there's already a path, and you get like a little bit of a wading pool in here, so you can get your kayak off of the wheels, and go out this way, and you're in the channel, and you're good to go, right? When it's low tide like this, I usually come across. I go in, I come across this way, and I go straight to the beach here, right? In the summertime, on the weekends, it gets super busy, super crowded. So when you're coming in, just be careful you don't hit any kids, that kind of stuff. Red curb with parking lines in front of it. Harbor police told me it's okay to park there. Oh, cool. The space on the far right. Had a red curb. Oh, got it. Yeah, this is a good spot. It's a great spot if you want to go dock fishing. And look at this. It's like dock heaven, dude. There's so many docks to fish here. If you were to go and fish all of these docks, like down every single lane, it would take you probably more than a whole day. Has anybody ever fished all of these things without skipping a dock? And if you have, how long did it take you? That's a good one. I already told the owner of the home at the very corner that if I won the lotto, I would buy her a coat. Oh, let's go! And that will be if a double wins a lotto. That's where we'll have the MMFC meetings, okay, Devil? Say hi to Karen. She lives on the corner. Nice. Oh my gosh. It's funny, but it's a good thing to speak about, Todd, because guys, this water is public water. You are allowed to fish it, right? You're not allowed to bank your lure off of somebody's boat, though. Okay, so be courteous. If a Karen comes out and tries to tell you can't fish there, just ignore them. You can fish there, right? You have a license to fish, okay? As long as they're not touching your line or touching your kayak or touching your rod in any way, there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta ignore them, okay? But you don't have to leave. You can fish there. You're allowed to fish there, okay? Again, you do you. You are an adult, but do take a little bit of time to think that you are an ambassador of our sport. Okay, you might be the only kayak fisherman they come in contact with that day or whatever, right? Or the first kayak fisherman they come in contact with. So let's try to give them a good perception of us, right? Be respectful, and but assert your rights, right? Exactly, Glenn. Exactly. Glenn said I literally ignored a Karen a couple of weeks ago. She just went back in her boat. That's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah. That's so good. All right. So that's a good one. I launch there frequently. It's a good launch. Again, you plan out your day and you figure out where you're gonna go and you find the closest launch site to there, right? Now let's say that we wanted to launch. This part of the harbor is hard to get to from any launch site. I've never launched here from these beaches on Coronado Island, and just beeline it across. I've always kind of come over to the Tidelands Park here. Tidelands Park is a great launch. You get a cool scenic view going over the Coronado Bridge. And as soon as you get off the Coronado Bridge, you're going to take your first available right here on Glorieta Boulevard. And as soon as you make that Glorieta Boulevard turn, you turn right away into the, what's this? Molinex Drive, all the way here to the roundabout. And once you're at the roundabout, you want to take these spots here. They're the best. Okay. You back up your truck into one of these spots, and then you're offloading your kayak right onto the grass. Okay. It's beautiful. It's perfect. There's restrooms up here. A little bit of a walk, but if you got to go, you got to go. And this is not a shop or anything. It's just a skate park. So I think they might sell snacks. You might be able to go in there and buy snacks or water if they have a snack bar. I'm not sure. But pretty much this is another one of the this is another site where you just bring all your stuff with you, right? A bit super close from Thailand, so on. Yeah, Thailand's awesome. The Thailand's, you take the path here, you get on the path for a little bit. When you get on the path, look before you cross because these bikes come pretty fast, and it's hard to maneuver your kayak out of the path when you have like a 13-foot kayak across the whole way, blocking the whole thing, right? You basically walk the kayak through here, get onto the sand, and I try to cut in as soon as possible, right to the water here, right? In this picture, it is high tide. Look how close the water is. It's actually going low, but the water line gets up here, where it's a little bit darker, and that is the best time to launch or to land. Okay, if you're gonna do Tidelands Park. Or Thailand's, it's called Thailand's Park. Yeah, Thailand's Park. Make sure that you time it so that you're launching and landing on high tides. I can't stress this enough. Okay. Otherwise, during low tide, the water is like over here. I kid you not. It's like right here, and all of this eelgrass / water / sand / mud is like quicksand. I mean, it's not. You're not gonna die in there, right? Don't get me wrong. You're not gonna die, but your shoes are getting wet. You're gonna take a knee. You're gonna fall, and it's good times, right? If you're into that kind of stuff, mud wrestling. But if you're not into mud wrestling, it's painful. Okay. If you don't have the big what is it called? The big Hobie Track 2 wheels, the big balloon ones. You're gonna have a hard time pulling your wheels through that mud. Okay, so make sure that you time it so that you're landing and launching on high tide. Okay, you're gonna remember me. You're gonna remember this when you forget about the timing and you coming back and you're like, oh crap, it is. Yeah, Leonard, you're gonna be mud wrestling your kayak, saying, dang it, they told me, right? Anyway, it's a great site. It's a great launch because you have access to a bunch of stuff from there, okay? Here, that's probably where we'll launch if we go and do the Shell on Halloween, Haunt the Shell. Hopefully there's a concert happening, and we'll go and probably park in here somewhere, fish around while we're listening to the concert here. It's amazing, free concert. But from there, you can fish all kinds of cool stuff. There's a bunch of boats that are moored right across the way when you get in. Little drop off right here, a little flat with the eelgrass around here. You can fish under the Coronado Bridge. You can fish the drop off to the main shipping channel here. You can fish all the Coronado Bridge. What do they call them? Pillars, I guess. You can make your way across and fish this area. It's not that good around there, but this area is good back here. You can make your way here, Dink Beach, catch all kinds of little baby spotties right here. You can set up a drift depending on the wind up here and just kind of drift this whole area. Just paddle up here and drift all the way back and then reset and drift all the way back and reset and drift all the way back and catch a bunch of stuff there. It's amazing. You can make your way over here around to Glorieta Bay. Glorieta Bay, I've always thought it looked fishy, but I haven't had much success in Glorieta Bay. It's not that great for me anyway. Flats right after the moon boat is a bomb. Yeah, exactly. Glorieta Bay is small docks. It's cool to go in there and kind of check it out, but it's very cramped and I haven't had that much success fishing there, with a few exceptions, right? But there's another launch there with the Glorieta Bay boat launch ramp. If you don't want to deal with the timing the tide, this is close enough to that area where you could just launch there and make your way across and come back when you're done, right? But it is kind of a ways to get all the way to the shell. The parking here kind of sucks, not gonna lie, but there is a restroom right there, and if you can find parking, it's perfect. It's a launch there, and they even have I've never used this before, but I've seen it. They have a kayak launcher. So if you don't want to put it on the boat ramp, you can wheel it down the dock, and then they use a kayak launcher right here to launch into the water. I don't know if it's a kayak launcher, it's just some kind of launcher, but you can launch your kayak here. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's see what else we have back here. I've never launched here. Is this a boat launch? That's not a boat launch, is it? That's private. Let's say private. I've never been in this area. But if you want to go back bay, where is that? There it is. Is it Pepper Park? Yeah, here it is. Pepper Park boat launch. There it is. That's another launch you can do. I think I launched there once with the crew. I'm not sure if they have restrooms there or not, but and I think that one has that one doesn't have a gate, but it's another one down the road that has a gate. Anyway, it's a good little launch there too. Make your way out the channel, and you could be out here fishing for all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that's cool. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. So I got Kayak Beach, I got Shelter Island, I got Tidelands Park, and Glorieta Bay. Cool. All right, that is a lot. That's a ton of launches for people that are coming to San Diego, trying to bring the kayak out, catch some spotted bay bass. You know, that is my recommendations for you for the best kayak fishing launches in San Diego. Secrets revealed. Cops called. Can you target bonefish out on Pepper Park? Yeah, that's a good place to do that. Also, if you want to catch sharks on cut bait, it's pretty good there too. Stingrays, maybe even leopard shark. It's pretty cool. All right, man, that was a long session. Let me get this next thing queued up. Do me a favor, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already, and if you are interested in joining our Discord server, type in !point Discord. You'll get a link. And hold on. Open Discord. There it is. All right, so as one of our club outings, we went to Catalina Island with the crew. Carl had the good idea to set up a trip, and it was cool. We were going to go last weekend, but the weekend before last, but the wind was up too much. So we went this weekend. It was cool. I forget how awesome Catalina Island is. And it's so beautiful. The water is amazing. It's like super clear. We're fishing in like 40 feet of water, and you can see the bottom. It was amazing. Maybe want to jump in. Missed J Street. I don't think I ever launched at J Street. Let me see. Let me bring it up. J Street. Oh, is that in Mission Bay? Sorry, in San Diego Bay? Can you launch your kayak there? Let's see. No, I don't want you to shake your head. No. Pepper Park. Oh, Chula Vista. Got it. J Street. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I think we tried to launch there. Oh yeah, that's where we launched with the group a long time ago. We launched there as a group, dude. I think that's where uh Brian hit a ground, I think. and oh yeah, that's where I first had the Bixby, and I was racing people with the Bixby. Is that the place, Leonard? Yeah, Chula Vista. It's good. The restroom. And where's the launch site? It's right here. There's a launch ramp. No, this isn't where we launched. Oh, there it is. There's a launch site. Is that J Street there? No. Yeah, we tried launching there, but the gate was locked early in the morning, so we had to move over to the other one. South of Pepper Park. Got it. Pepper Park. I'll find this. Pepper Park. We're going south. F. H. J Street. There it is. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, the original plan was to launch there when we did that outing, but we ended up we couldn't get in the gate, or the gate was locked, and we couldn't park, so we just moved over here, I think. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's keep the show rolling. So we got that going. Let's go to these to the outing, to the pictures from the outing. Let's see, right. There we go. I'm just gonna go through the pictures, and I'm gonna tell stories as I go through the pictures. we started a little group chat about the outing. Here we go. I'm putting it up on the screen. There it is, window share. All right. This is from our trip to Catalina Island. This Salty caught a Pacific Barracuda. That thing was huge. He must have caught a bunch of stuff on the MMFC OCT. What's it OCT? What's the number on that one? Anyway, he caught a bunch of fish on that jig. And then I don't think the Barracuda was his first fish, but he did pretty good. The only fish I caught was this calico that tried to eat. It was like a 9-inch calico or a 10-inch calico trying to eat a 7-inch bait. So as you can see, the calico is almost as big as the bait. It's a Dave Rage with the calico with a fat belly. Look at that thing. That's a huge belly. And here's some pictures of the judge and Steven fishing, taking it to the limit and right up against the shore almost. But look at the water; it's so beautiful. And here's a better shot of the judge and Steven on the judge's boat chilling. Let's see. Here's another one. Yeah, it just looks like prehistoric. Like the whole area is amazing. And then we had to take a picture of this to commemorate it, because Dave Rage did an awesome cast. The lure went on for miles. It just flew forever. And this is the most perfect backlash I've ever seen. He won the first place for the sweetest backlash. I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive. The amount of fluff he got on that thing. And yeah, your stick bait was the same size as yeah. And then he sent us another follow-up picture of when he when he cut it out. He ended up cutting it out. He didn't try to solve the puzzle. solve the Rubik's Cube. But overall, I thought we had more pictures. I thought we had more pictures on the site. But it's okay. Overall, the trip was amazing. Like I said, we started off early in the morning. We met up with Carl, or Aaron, and Salty and I carpooled. I drove, and I met Dave there, and it was super fun. We got to see what it's like to launch a boat in the harbor there, and the way they store the boats there is amazing. They put them on this like giant like 3 racks, like three racks high, and they just take this forklift, dude, and they pick up the whole boat out of the water, and they lift it up like 3 stories and put it on this rack like it's a book on a shelf. It's amazing to see that. And we made the journey out to the ocean, and super stoked, excited. Got out there, the water was amazing. The sun it wasn't too sunny, it was just right. The conditions were really good. We didn't run into any like big pelagic fish, but it was still a good time. We fished a ton on the windy side of the island. And then once the wind picked up, we made our way around to like the lee side of the island. And then we even swung by the Avalon, I think is the bay. Swung by Avalon, checked it out. It's amazing there. It's beautiful. I keep saying that because it's just really cool. Especially now that my kids are snorkeling and they can swim and they're water safe. I want to take them back there so they can jump in the water and like there's where you guys know where the Avalon, they have the casino that got shut down. Well, the building is still there, but in front of the casino, there's this whole it's a reserve, right? And there's so many calicos in there. Like I'm talking like schools of calicos that are super friendly, and they come right up to you. And it would be an amazing experience to snorkel there. You get to see a bunch of Garibaldi, a bunch of calicos, a bunch of senorita fish. It's really beautiful. So it's a good little vacation. Get out there on the what's that called? I want to say a trolley, a ferry. That ferry, the Catalina Express, that leaves out of Dana Point. I think it also leaves out of. There's one that for sure that leaves out of Dana Point. Get the early one at 7 a.m. Get out there to the island. Enjoy the beach. Have some food. And then take the last ferry home. It's a good little staycation, It feels like it's like Hawaii almost because the water is so beautiful. And the weather is perfect. So it's a good little, if you guys are looking for an idea of something to do, that's a good place to go. If you don't have a boat, you could do with the ferry. Unfortunately, you can't take your kayak on the ferry, which totally sucks. But you can still get out there and have some fun with the family for sure. Yeah. And then we had that. We super stoked. We had a good time fishing, and we're ready to make the journey home. I took everything with me that I planned on taking, and when Salty showed up to my house, I was like, "Oh, let's go! I'm ready." And I was so focused on making sure I didn't forget anything, but I still forgot something. I forgot the one thing that I only bought because of my previous experience crossing the channel, getting from Dana Point to the Catalina Islands. One time, a long time ago, we did the journey early in the morning. It was dark and cold and terrible. I crossed the channel with some friends on a center console, like completely exposed. I was wearing jeans, Docker shoes, socks, and like a shirt, a long sleeve shirt. By the time we got to Avalon, I was completely drenched, cold and miserable. This is on a different day, okay? I was so cold, dude, that I had him drop me off at the dock, and I walked over to the Vaughn's Express. I bought new socks so I could at least have dry socks. And before I went to buy the socks, I was standing in front of the rotisserie chickens and the warm food cabinet to warm up. It was so sad. It was miserable. But I survived it. I made it back, and I told myself that day had been waffling on buying foul weather gear, like a bib and a jacket that's waterproof. I'd be like, I don't even use it. I don't even use it. Well, that day I wished I had it, right? So anyways, I bought it. I have it. I keep it on my front hatch of my Pro Angler. And dang it, I forgot it. I forgot it. So on the way back, it seemed okay. Salty and I were towards the back of the boat, and we hit our first couple of wakes, and you see the walls of water just go psh, psh, and like you kind of like waiting to get splashed, and you're like, oh, I didn't get wet. And I kind of looked at Salty, I'm like, oh yeah, we're good, dude. We're good. Well, then we get outside of the windbreak of the island, and it starts to get a little bit more rough, and we're pounding through the waves. Next thing you know, it's like a little splash. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. And then another little splash. Oh, it's not too bad. And then it's like, boom, a big splash. You wake up and you're like flopping around and you're wet and it's just miserable. And it was like that for the next however long it took to get home. Thank God that Carl was able to give me one of his jackets, and I just kind of used this jacket to kind of shield myself. But by the time I had the jacket, I was already completely wet. And I just kept telling myself, well, at least I'm not on Judge's boat. I felt bad for Judge the whole way home because I knew we were getting pounded. Like I knew they were probably getting pounded even worse. But we made it back. It was part of the adventure, the ordeal. It makes the adventure more memorable. And it's a good story to tell with your friends and to be able to look back on and say, you remember that time when we had to cross the channel and we got destroyed? Yeah, it's pretty wild. So yeah, it was super fun. And then we capped the night off. We got back around 4 or 5 p.m. I think 5 p.m. So with plenty of daylight, it was great. And we were able to do my favorite thing to do with friends is go out to eat. We went to go eat at a Mexican food place called Mesa Tacos. It was good. It was really good. And that's how we celebrated the completion of the trip. And then we drove home. And that was that. It was a great outing. It's something that I want to do again next year. So we'll start floating it out there. And for next year, we'll do one day like that again. Or we might just do a charter on those days. So we'll see how it goes. We'll be like a club chowder. I said club chowder like a club charter. Like a club charter. All right. What else we have here? Yeah. So that wraps up the story of the Catalina outing. It was a blast. And I think that's all I got for you guys today. I've been kind of texting a little bit with Brian. I'm not sure he's ready to come back yet or to do that episode yet. So we'll see when he does it. But yeah, my apologies for Brian not being here and still being in the intro. Unfortunately, rest in peace. We're not able to get another voice overdone. So what we'll do is I'm gonna have to go through and edit that. I'm gonna have to go through and edit that voiceover, and see if I can take out Brian out of it. So sad. I don't know if it'll sound good, but I'm gonna try. See if it works for us. But I'll have the version with Brian still on there in case he comes back and he needs to do a guest appearance or bless us with the episode or two. Okay. Good thing your captain had a raincoat. Exactly. Awesome. Okay. Before we go, I'll send you guys off with a little bit of humor, a little bit of my attempt at some comedy. So here we go. Is this for Ken? If Ken is still watching. Okay. Okay, here we go. First one is, oh my God, these are pretty. You guys said wife jokes last time, right? You guys said wife jokes, so we're going with a couple of wife jokes. Hopefully, my wife doesn't hear them. Here we go. My wife told me she was leaving me because she couldn't live with me, always making stupid Star Wars puns. I said, divorce is strong in this one. That was going out to Brian because I know he enjoys Star Wars. So that's for you, Brian. Okay, here's another one. Oh, this is I don't know if it's okay. Here we go. My wife said she's fed up with me always getting my directions mixed up. So I packed up my bags and right. That one takes a while. That one took me a while to like let it sink in. I was like, "What?" Right? Let me know. Did you guys get it? Did that work? There we go. My wife said to me, "What rhymes with orange?" And I said, "No, it doesn't." Let's go. All right, boys. That's all we got for today's episode of the Fishy Hour. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Ouch, worse than the backlash. Shout out Cave Dog. Thanks for tuning in. Captain the Double, Leonard, Carl in the house, the Judge, Eric the Judge, Stephen in the house, Stephen Gage. Good seeing you again, buddy. And thanks for tuning in. Glenn, appreciate you jumping on here and sharing your knowledge and and funny comments. Andre in the house. Thanks, Andre. Make sure, let me know how you do with those fishing launch sites. If you need any more, if you have any questions, hit me up on Discord and I'll be happy to help. We have, who else do we have in here? Corey King in the house. What up, Corey? Good to see you in here, dude. Hope all is well. Todd, TB Metal Art in the house. TB Art. Thanks for tuning in, Todd. What else we got here? We got Captain Adobo. We got Glenn. We got Todd. We got Cal. We got Salty Dangler in the house. What up, Salty? Yokinator, too. Thanks for tuning in. Captain Dan, hope your flight is okay and you're already in the air. We got Coach in the house. Coach, I'm working on getting you a laptop, dude. So stay tuned. I'll let you know as soon as I get it sorted out. Also, we have, thanks for tuning in. It's Padres 98. Let's go. Let's go for Padres. What else we got in here? Make sure I got all the shout outs today. Thanks for tuning in today. Arnie, hope all is well. We got the Judge. We already got the Judge. We got Cal. We got Curtis in the house. What up, Curtis? Thanks for tuning in today as well. We got Fresh One in the house. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a while since I've seen Doug Rubin in the house, huh? We got Todd. We got Camadovo. We got Fresh One. We got Steven. We got Cal. All right, I think I got most of everybody. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday for another episode of Fishy Hour. But until then, remember, may the bite be with you. Woo!